Good afternoon. Yes, sorry, this one. What does that have to do with this? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Mm. Please, I want to find out on the comment section if you can hear me. Good afternoon. Please let me know. Can you hear me? Drafting. Is our sound okay? Is it clear? Please, I need somebody to please respond that you can hear me. Okay, so that we can start straight up with our class for today. Okay, thank you so much. Tinuke, Tinuke, is the sound okay? Ome, good afternoon. Okay, thank you so much. Igbo, people should just pardon me because YouTube decide to use username there, so it's difficult for me to pronounce them because it's joining the name just like using your username, joining the name and surname together. Okay, thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you. Okay, so let's continue. So first, today is an off-shoulder pieces and top. So I just want to show you people how to cut it. Maybe we'll stitch it on the machine so that you see. For those of you that want to make something like, okay, I just want to show you how to do the frame. Okay, it's a simple process. So the first thing you are going to do, let's draft. I think let's draft the front first. Yes, let's draft the front first. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do to drop your shoulder, so you can see the shoulder part. So this is my shoulder. For this, I'm going to use 6 inches for the shoulder. So okay, no, let's draft the back first. Come back to the front. So we're doing 6 inches, and then that's for the shoulder. So this is going to be our shoulder line. You know, it's an off shoulder, and then we're going to do our bust point. So for this, we're going to use 11 inches for our bust point. Okay, and use 14.5 inches for our under bust, and then so just do okay, actually it's a full blouse. I just realized 14.5 for our under bust, and then we're going to use 18 for our half cut. We will use 23 for the full blouse, or 24 here. Okay, so just watch what I am doing. Okay, so we're going to draft it and then we would transfer it. I'll show you guys how to convert it, how to achieve that picture, that's your dress, to make it be looking at that shape. So that's it. So I am connecting all of the lines together. So let's see, let's label. So these are shoulder line, this bust point, under bust, waist, and then our full length. Okay, so the first thing, so basically what we're just doing, we're drafting a basic. So the first thing we want to do is an off shoulder. So drafting an off shoulder, and the shoulder I'm using for this is 14 inches. So since I'm drafting an off shoulder, I'm going to take out 1 inch from my shoulder measurement. So instead of, I'm going to use 6 inches. And then from that 6 inches point, I am going to connect. So you can see the way I'm placing my tape. My tape is placed on 6. Okay. I'm using 6 inches to drop it instead of 7. Okay. Thank you so much. Assalam. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm using 6 inches to drop my off shoulder. So the next thing I want to mark is my armhole. So for to use 9 inches. I've explained to you guys how to get your armhole. So remember, that's my armhole. So I'm just going to like this the back. So I'll just like connect it like this. Okay, we have different ways of drafting off shoulder. The next thing we want to do, we want to use our bust pan. So the bust pan I'm using is 8 inches nipple to nipple, of 4 inches. I'm just going to mark it across all of these lines. Okay, and then once I'm finished marking it across the lines, if you have questions, please you can ask your questions. I'll mark it like this, and then the next thing I want to do, I want to mark my full measurement before I take out the dart. So the full measurement, our bust that we're using is 36 divided by 4. We have 9. And then I'm going to add 1 inch because back I'll add 1 inch that, and then 1.5 inch stitching allowance. I'll come to my under bust. I am going to use the bust like 36, under bust is 30, and then the waist is 34. Okay, so I'll come to the under bust line. I'm going to add my under measurement of 30 divided by 4. I have 7.5. Okay, 1 inch for that and 1.5 inch stitching allowance. I'll come to my waist, which is 34 divided by 4. I have 8.5. My 1 inch that, and then 1.5 stitching allowance. Just watch what I am doing, and then I'm going to come to the down part of our blouse, divide by 4. So for this I'm going to use 40 inches divided by 4. I have 10. Now add my dart and my stitching allowance. So when I am done, to connect all of these lines together like this. So I want to extend that, and then this is how it is going to come. Can you see? So just watch what I am doing. So this is for our back piece, like I said. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now, this are my line for my dart. I want to extend to the top. Okay, so if you notice, that neckline is a straight line. So what I'm going to use, I'm just going to do like 3 inches for that neckline, and then just create a curve. It is like a straight neckline, really. It's just like it is a straight neckline. So this dart, I am going to extend this dart. So I'll extend this. So that neckline is a straight neckline, like I said. So I'm just going to do the right neckline. So this is 6 inches, and then I'm going to use like 7 inches or 7.5 inches. Let's do 7.5 to drop that. Okay, so once I'm going to do, I am going to connect this like this to the back. So that's the right neckline, that's the right way. So the next thing, we want to take our dart. So our dart is 1.5 inch, sorry, 1 inch dart. So one half to the right and then half to the left. Okay, so when we are done, we are going to connect this like this. Okay, so that's for our dart. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do now, we already have one piece here, so we want to divide this into two. Depends on how many pieces you want to share your dress. So if you want 6 pieces, so for this let's do 6 pieces. If you want 6 pieces, you're going to divide your front piece into three and then back piece into three. Since we want 6 pieces, since we want to do like a 6 pieces, so let's divide this into three. This is okay. Automatically this is going to be four. It's going to be eight pieces because the front is two. I'll show you guys, this is going to be 8 pieces. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to check what I have here. I'll divide that into two, and then I am going to divide it like this. Okay, so this is center, this is center of the front, so we have another one. So it's going to be like 8 pieces. Okay, so this is for the back. So let's cut this out, and then let's number them. This is 1, 2, and 3. Very important that we're going to use to. So this is the waist part. Depends on where we want our flat. It is very important. Okay, if it is like for a maternity, I would say let your flat start from your under of your bust. But for this, it's going to start from the waist area. Okay, so I'm going to cut off. That is going to be for the neckline. So we'll come back to this definitely. Okay, we don't need to come back to this. We can use the front one to do them. So this is the back. So now this is like the main part of the tutorial. You guys should please like the video. Okay, I would appreciate that. Good afternoon, good afternoon, and you're welcome. So now we're going to be drafting the front, and then before we transfer it, before we create the style line of the pieces blouse. Okay, so the first thing you are going to do, you are going to mark your shoulder line. But this is our shoulder line, and we are using 6 inches, so you can use 5 inches, depends on how deep you want this. Okay, for your off shoulder, so that's 6 inches. And then the next thing we want to do, we want to mark our bust point. So like I said, point is 11, and then our under bust is 14.5, our waist 18, and then our full length, the full length we're using 24 inches. Okay, So those are all of the lines. The next thing I do now, I want to connect. I just want to rule a straight line to indicate all of those lines that I mentioned. This is our bust point, and then we have our under bust. This is our under bust line. So the line we have here is our waistline. So this is our waistline, and the last line we have here is our hemline. That's the down part of our blouse. Some people call it length, some people call it top length, some people call it blouse hem, or call it blouse waist. Depends on what you call it in your area. You guys should please like this video, okay? All right, so let's continue. So the next thing, so this dimension we're using, our bust is 36, our under bust is 30, the waist is going to be 34, and then the hem is going to be 40. So we need all of this measurement to be able to achieve that blouse, okay? Thing you're going to do, you're going to come to your shoulder line this way. You're going to mark your shoulder. So the shoulder I'm using is 14, so I'll divide that into two. I'm going to have 7, but because it is an shoulder, I'll take out 1 inch from that measurement. So I'm going to have 6. You can even go as much as 5 inches. Depends on how close you want your offshore to be. Like, you don't want it really open. So that is what we're trying to do at that point. So the next thing, like I said, we're using 6 inches to offshore. You can use 5, you can use 8. Depends on how deep you want your breast area to be. So the next thing we want to do, we want to mark our armhole. So I'm going to mark my armhole. So our armhole measurement depends on what you are using. You can use 8 inches, you can use 9 inches. But I've taught you guys here, for your armhole, you can divide your bust circumference into 4 and then add 1.5. So remember, this is an off shoulder. That is why it's looking short like this. Okay. So the next thing we want to do now, we want to take out our dart. For us to take out our dart, we're going to use because it is a bustier. Okay. We're going to use our bust span measurement, which is 8. You divide that into 2. We're going to have 4 inches. When we say bust span, that is our nipple to nipple measurement. Okay. So I'm going to mark the 4 inches across all my lines that way, and then I am going to connect it with a straight rule like this. The next thing I want to do, I want to take out my, it depends on the bustier pattern that I want to do for this. I think I would want to do a shoulder dart. So the next thing, I'm going to come to this point, and then I want to mark the length of my neckline. So since we already dropped with 6 inches, so that 6 inches, I'm just going to add like half inch to it, because if you notice the picture, the neckline is high. So I'm just going to create a of like this. So it's going to be, that neckline is going to be like 6.5 inches. So you can make 8, you can make it 10. So it depends on what you want. Depends on how high you want it on that chest area. Okay. So that is that. So the next thing we want to do, and this line, to extend it to the top. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to extend that line like this. I'll extend it. So after extending it, the next thing I want to do, I want to mark out my bustier, pattern. So for my bustier pattern, I'm going to use 2 inches. I'll come to my under bust line. I'm going to mark my 2 inches here. So once I mark my 2 inches here, I'm going to connect that 2 inches to my bust point. Okay, from the under bust, so you connect it to the bust point. So this is to create that bustier. Can you see? You can see the beautiful bustier effect. The next thing, I want to come to the down part of my pattern. So for the down, I want to use just 1.5 inches. You remember I used 2 inches on top, but down I use 1.5 inches. If you have been following me, you notice that when it comes to my bustier patterns, when it comes to that, I normally change them. Depends on how the style of the dress is. Okay. So I'll put that down. The next thing I want to do now, I want to come to this top part. For this top part, for my top dart, I just want to take out just half inch from that point. Remember, I did not add any allowance my when I was measuring it. So I'm going to just start. Okay. So it is a simple process. And then once I do that, I am going to extend my armhole. Okay, so I'll just extend my armhole because I don't want it to be shortened. I'm going to extend that. I'm extending it by like 0.75, so it is more than the half inch that I took. So it's not, it is more than the half inch that I took. So I'll add it that way. The next thing I want to do, I want to take out the full body measurement. So we are almost done before we transfer it on the fabric and then see how it looks. We'll stitch it on the machine to see actually. So the next thing we will do, good afternoon, all of you that are just joining us, you're welcome. You guys should please like this video. I would should check this side. You're going to see three dots. Just click on it. You see the like button and like the video. Okay, so the next thing we want to divide our 36. When we do that, we're going to have 9 inches, okay? And then we're going to add our 2 inches dart. And remember, our back we use 1.5 inches sewing allowance. So we're going to mark it there. So this armhole line, I am going to extend it like this, okay? I've extended it. The next thing I want to do, I want to come to my underbust. So for the underbust, remember we're using 30. We're going to divide that into 4. We have 7.5, okay? And then we're going to add our 2 inches of the dart intake we took to create the bust here. You add that, and then you're going to add your 1.5 inches stitching allowance, okay? So after doing that, you're going to now come to the waist part. To take out the waist measurement, to check what are you using. The waist is 34. So when you divide the 34 into 4, you're going to have 8.5, okay? And then you're going to check. So I'm still checking. I'm going to add 2 inches for the dart here also. And then I'll add 1.5 inch stitching allowance. And then I'm going to come to the down part of my blouse. Remember, we're using 40 inches because that's the side that's going to be very open, okay? I'm going to divide that into 4. I have 10. I'm going to mark it, and then I'm going to add my here is 1.5 inch that I took for the down part, and then 1.5 inches for stitching allowance. So I'm going to mark it. You guys should please like this video. Be cool. Like the video, I would appreciate that. So I will mark it like this, and then I will mark this like this. So I'm just going to mark this like this, okay? So the next thing I want to do now, my blouse, I want to, okay, so the down part I'm going to um create that. So for this, the next thing I want to do for my blouse, so I just want to double check my picture. Yeah. And this part was extended, that part was extended, okay. But this center, so that means center, that particular center, this center, we're not going to extend this, just like I said for our front piece before. We're not, for our back piece, we're not going to extend it. If you take a good look at the picture, you see the part that were extended is the side, then the dart that ran across from the neckline, you can see. So those are like the part. The major part that was extended was this part, that's the waist, this end, this part, that's this part. And then the other part that was extended is this dart. You understand? This dart that runs from here, that's this one, this line. So that means we don't need to divide this one. But if you want to do it to 8 pieces, just remember I showed you, that was what I was showing you guys. If you want to do it to 8 pieces, you would extend that. But if you just want to do 6 pieces, so this part, so this one, I noticed this one, you see the center part is straight. You understand? You see the center part, that's this middle part like this. I'm just trying to explain the style to you people so that you know. So you see this center part like this straight part like this. They did not extend it. The only part they extended was here, and then probably here, a little bit here and here. You understand that this middle part they did not extend it. So that is why you see it is flat on her tummy. So please note. Okay. So the major part they extended was this end. So we are going to work with that right now. So like I always tell you people, learn to, if you know how to read a style, it will be easy for you to create any style line, because all of the styles, everything, they are the same patterns. That's what we normally use. You understand? Everything is done, it's used, is the same. So when you know how to explain a style, it will be easier for you. Okay, so now we're going to cut this out like this. So I'd already explained this to you. So this is our front piece. So we'll keep the back. We're not going to do the back, so let's work with the front. Okay, so let's extend this, and then I'll show you guys how to do this, and then we would go. So you guys should please like this video. Okay, right. So now the next thing we're going to do, so like I normally advise my students, when you are sewing, always do mock-up. So use fabric for your mock-up. That's like what I mean by mock-up is always try out your patterns. Like, don't just assume and just start working. Okay, always try out your pattern. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to place this. This is our front piece. I'm going to place this front piece like this first. So for this front piece, we are going to be extending. So for this back piece, we are going to extend also. I'm just trying to make sure that I have enough space here. Okay, so that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that I have enough space that will give me my desired result, which by the way, I don't think I have. So I'm going to have to refold this. I need I need enough space on my pattern, on my fabric. Okay. So it's the same way you are doing the front, it's the same way you are going to do the back. So I'm going to place this now like this. If you notice, see that I extended it up a little bit, okay? And then I'm going to get a start line. So this is going to be like my start line, and then I'll extend this also. So the next thing I'm going to do now, so how many inches I want to add. So like I said, the middle part of this, if you are doing an 8 pieces, I'm going to explain it anyway. If you are doing an 8 pieces, this is how you are going to place your pattern. Then you're going to extend here, extend here, extend here, extend here. Okay. But since you notice, like I said, like I showed you guys earlier, you can see the center part, it is straight. It does not have any, so it's going to stay like this. So that center part is going to stay like this, and then the only part where we have extensions are going to be here. At the end of the day, so the thing became too big. Sorry guys, let me reduce it a little bit so I will not waste my fabric. So if you have questions, please, you can drop your questions on the comment section. Okay, you can drop your questions, you can drop them. I'm just going to place this like this. So the first thing I want to do depends on how many inches I want to use to extend this. So I'm going to come to this point like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up a little bit, like 1 inch. I'll come 1 inch above that waist measurement. It is usually good, but you can do it from that exact waist part, so it's still okay. So the next thing I want to do, I want to, depends on how many inches I want to use to do this. So I'm going to come to this part like this, okay? And then I am going to measure, that's, I'll come to this down part. So I'm going to measure, mark like 4 inches. Here you see. Now me reduce the fabric before. Just sorry guys. What's doing is what's doing well. So let's do it well. Okay. Okay, so it's okay now. So I'm just going to place this like this, okay? If not, so I'm going to use, so now I'm going to use like 5 inches. So I'll come to the down part of this. I'm going to mark 5 inches here. Okay, no, let's do 4 inches for this middle one. So mark 4 inches here. Sorry guys, please excuse me. Hello. Yes, I can hear you. So sorry guys, I had to pick that call. It was very, very important. Okay. All right. So guys, so let's continue. So now I'm just going to place this like this. So we're using 4 inches for this, like we agreed. So I will mark that 4 inches here. And then the next thing I want to do, I want to trace this. Just watch, please. This is very important. Okay, let's see. I hope you can. Everything is in place. Mhm. I think it's better this way. So I want you want so now this is your material. So you want to place this. You want to trace your neckline like this. Want to trace it like this. Next thing you want to trace this like this. So the only thing you are going to add on this side is half inch that you are going to use to stitch it. Okay. So you're going to do this, and then once you get to this point where you are going to come, you are going to create like a flay. Can you see? to this point like this, okay? So once you create it to that point, so I'm going to extend this by like 1 inch here. So we're going to place it like this. So with this now we have succeeded in taking the first ones, okay? That's we have done this. I hope you guys can see it, okay? So the next thing we want to do, we want to work with this one. So I'm just going to shift this a little bit. Sorry, let me get my pin so I'll pin it down so it does not move. So I'm going to shift this like this, okay? And then for this one, I'm going to shift this because I need the space also. So I'm going to come to this part now. Just watch. I'm going to come to this part. I'm going to trace. I'm going to be tracing. So as I'm tracing, I'm going to add half inch on the side, and then I'm going to trace it up to that point. So once I get to that point, so from this point, so this is the side that has like most of the length. So on this side, I'm going to mark like 5 inches here. You understand? So I'll mark like 5 inches. And then once I get to that part, I'm just going to create a flay like this to this part like this. Remember, we're extending with 1 inch. So I'll create a flay on that side. And then this one also, I'm going to come to this side. I'm going to mark this side on also is not very big. So we'll do the same 4.5 inches. So I'm going to trace. So this, you're going to trace this like this. This is a Bustier note, so you're going to trace it. Just add half of an inch or quarter inch on the side, and then you're going to come like this. And then once you get to this point, you are going to do this, okay? And you're going to create that flay effect. And then remember, we're extending by 1 inch down. So that 1 inch, we're going to mark it like this. So with this now, we have succeeded in creating our pattern. So the next thing we want to do now, we want to curve the edge of our blouse. So for this, I'm just going to come on this part. I'm just going to come up like half of an inch and then just create a curve like this, okay? So this is it. So we're going to off now, and then I'll show you. We're going to stitch it and let's see how the outcome is going to look, okay? So I'm just cutting. So this is very important. You know, it is a bustier, so you need to cut it exactly like that, okay? So I'm cutting. So you can see my bust here. I'm navigating the curve, and then I'm going to bring this. So I'll cut this. Make sure you cut it the way it is, okay? So the beauty of this is that you can even stitch. So let's get this out, and then let me show you guys how to sew this. So I will sew it and see how it looks. So let me get this table out of this, get that out of this studio, and then let's bring this guy close. Let's clear the whole table. The things. So like I said, you guys should please like my video. I would appreciate that, okay? Let's see. Okay. All right. All right. So I remember then when I was learning how to sew, I used to have I used to have patterns like this. Do you understand? Patterns that I kept, like mock up, small, small mock up that I made of patterns like this. I'll make them and then keep them. You understand? I keep them. I'll try them out to make sure that it is okay. Once I've tried the pattern out and I see that the pattern is good, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to loosen it. So I'll loosen that pattern and then cut it on paper, and I will keep it. I'll keep it. So that's what to do. So that's what I used to do then. So that helps. It helps your sewing journey a whole lot. So with that, when you have anything like that, you want to sew, you already for a long time. I was using those patterns. Oh. For a long time. That early time I started sewing, that was what I was doing. I did not used to. If I have any business, like if somebody brings clothes to me, what I normally do, I'll just go back to those patterns. I'll take them and then I will modify them, either increase the size or reduce the size of the pattern, and then that was what I was using to sew gradually, gradually until I now became very familiar with pattern drafting. You understand? So once I became familiar with pattern drafting, I don't need to keep patterns again. I don't need to start reusing patterns. If it come to my place, you see different patterns all over the place. I even use them like my pattern paper. I use them to I use them to fry food. So that's it. So the next thing, so now we want to sew. So this is it. So we're going to take this together like this, okay? And then we're going to stitch this. So we're going to start stitching from the down. So let's stitch it and see, okay, if it is okay. If it is not okay, we know that we'll have to work on the pattern, maybe reduce it or increase it, okay? What happened? Why did they restrict the message? Let's see. Okay, I could not see the message. I don't know the question. Solange, the question you ask. So you can see the way I'm navigating the curve because it is a bust here. You understand? So I'm navigating the curve. So for this, for you to get a perfect result, of course, you are going to pad your bust here. Oh, okay. I saw something now. Remember that neckline? I did not I'm supposed to blend my neckline. I did not blend it. So sorry, guys. So this neck is going to be blended here like this. I'll just blend it that way. So can you see? Can you see already? This is one part. Oh, I'm going to show you guys. It looks good. I think this 4 inches is just like the best. It's just like the best. My mannequin is free over there, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to stitch the second one. So I'll start stitching from the down so that I can blend the neckline area together. So I'll stitch like this. So like I said, always use free fabric, lining, cashmere. What's the name of that other fabric that we used to sew? That white fabric. There's this white fabric. Is it there's cashmere again? No, it's not it. I'm trying to remember the name. Those white fabric that we use when we're sewing our basic bodies. So I'm just going to cut this and then I'll blend it also on this part. So just see the blend that I'm blending. Can you see what I am doing? If you notice I did not get it up to this point, I just removed that little piece. Okay, so this is how. Okay, so the next thing you want to do now, let's trim this. So I'll fold this together like this. I'll fold it so you can see. Can you see the way this part looks like? Let me show you guys. You can see it looks fine. Can you see? You see the shape. So the next thing you want to do, just trim it little by little, and then this is the edge. So the edge. So because we don't have the back, so you can see. Can you see? Oh, I think I should have even done the back. I should have done the back. Oh, let's see. So for this, I'm just trying to show you guys, okay? I'm just trying to show you guys. So let me turn the camera. Let me play and see. Let's turn the lights and then I will show you guys how it would look. Or let me bring the dress from this way. Okay. Can you see? What is? I'm just trying to show you guys so that you see how this looks, okay? So if you have questions, you can drop your questions on the comment section, okay? You can drop your questions on the comment section so you can see. So this is going to be the side. I just want to show you. So this is going to be the side. I'm just trying to pin it nicely. So you see, this is what I like using. Remember the show that I reduced 1 inch. Most times I like reducing 1.5 or 2 inches. You can see. So if I had reduced, like what do you call it? If I had reduced 1.5 inches or 2 inches from this, the shoulder is going to come in a little bit more. Okay. So I just want you to note that. So you can see, so this is the center. Like I said, the center is straight. So it's this part and this part that has the curves. You understand? Just like it is on the blouse. So you can see. So you can see. So this is it. You can see our pattern. So this is just our raw. We did not our raw lining. We did not add. We did not pad it. We did not put anything. So this is how it's going to look. You can see this front. You see this middle part is straight, like I said, like the picture. And then this side came out, and then this side. So this side is not showing because we have not joined, because I've not joined the back. So when by the time because you can see this protruding. So when you join the back to it, so this side is going to come out just like the way this side came out. So this one you can see I've not added anything. I did not pad it. You can see how it came out. But if you want to do 8 pieces, you know those ones that this side is going to have the flay also, this flay. So I'm just trying to show you guys something. Please note, if you want to do 8 pieces that this side is going to have the protruding also, your pattern, you have to divide your pattern at the center. So when you divide your pattern at the center, this side is going to, when you divide your pattern at the center, you are going to have two like this. That's two flay from this waist part. One flay will come out from this waist part, another flay will come out. So you're going to have this and have this. You understand? So you're going to have like 8 pieces of your blouse that is standing like this, and then this part is going to be fitted, and then from this waist part also you are going to have another two flare. I hope you understand what I am trying to explain. I hope you guys understand what I am trying to explain to you on the comment section. But this is how you actually go about this. It is a simple process. It is not very difficult. Okay. So guys, I just want to say thank you to all of you that tuned into our tutorial today. So if you are just joining, you're welcome. Go back and watch the tutorial, and then let me turn my camera back. So go back and watch the tutorial back, and then what do you call it, watch the tutorial back, and then follow all of the explanation the way I've explained. So I just want to say thank you to you guys. So this evening, I don't know yet, you guys can see my face, I'm so stressed, like really stressed out, and see the way my eyes are. Just want to say thank you. I don't know if I'll be able to come up yet in the evening, but I pray that I'm able to. So thank you so much. God bless you all for watching. I'll see you guys later. So tomorrow, by God's grace, we'll sew something. Okay, maybe we'll sew a trouser or a pants or something. So by God's grace, you guys should just thank you so much.